realistic, The Lion King is now out in theaters, and that means it's time to rank all 4 Lion King movies from the worst to the best. Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on all of these films, how they work all together. I know the middle two are some obscure releases since they're direct to video, so if you watch those as well, props to you. I'd love to hear your ranking down below. And also don't forget to like this and subscribe, because pretty soon I'll be ranking all of the Disney live action and photorealistic movies from the worst to the best, and you won't want to miss that. But without further ado, let's begin. Coming in at number 4, we have Lion King the 1.5, or in other countries it's called Lion King 3 Hakuna Matata. And what this movie does well is telling a spin-off on the first Lion King story, giving you more depth into the characters of Timon and Pumbaa. But where this movie falls a little flat is where those characters were never totally interesting in the first place, to where I was completely asking and begging for them to have their own story, how they came together, the mystery of it, and sort of the strangeness of those two characters together just made it more interesting, not knowing who they were and how they came to be. This movie isn't horrible by any means. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. The jokes and feel to this movie was quite different than the other Lion King movies, which makes it a good addition, but it felt way too different to where it wasn't completely enjoyable as the others. Number 3, we have Disney's The Lion King 2, and this movie was a big surprise to me, as I found out I watched it for the first time before I did a review on my channel. And this was a big surprise, as it almost lived up to the same sort of level as the first Lion King did, as you get the interesting story, you get the interesting characters, and you get a direct continuation of the story from the Lion King, and you get the consequences of what Mufasa did off screen in that first Lion King, and it puts that problem into the Lion King 2, with some of the lions being outcast and wanting to get back into the kingdom and to have control and to overtake Simba and his family. I would even go to say that the relationship between Kiara and Kovu worked better for me than Simba and Nala did in the first movie. But where this movie falls flat is, although the animation has improved, the background characters you're not supposed to focus on don't have that same animation style, which is a little bit of a problem when the super good animation and the older animation is mixed. Before I move on to my final 2, I'd like for you to comment down below how would you rank them, and also be sure to look at these fun facts you see on the screen, and be sure to check out Mainly Movies after this video, because she's the one that pointed out this insight of how all of these names from the Lion King means something in Swahili. Mainly Movies is a movie channel also with movie reviews, rankings, and trailer reactions, and she has some great videos on there, so check her out. On to number 2, we have the Disney live action or photorealistic The Lion King, and what this movie does so well is, though it takes the safe route by copying a majority of the story of the original Lion King, the animation and visuals and the technology that all of this is actually only CGI is outstanding. The way they're able to pull all of this off, and although all of the animals are less animated than the original because they're trying to make the animals act like real animals, you lose some of the expression from all of the animals, which is a little disappointing. But what's good about that is it plays its own movie in that sense, to where you get to see what it would be like if this movie was somehow in real life. Moving on to number 1, we have the very original The Lion King, and this movie holds up super well with all its storytelling and animation up to this day. All of the effects that it adds into the animation is crazy, the way how old it is, yet it's still able to accomplish so much. All of the characters are lovable, and you really get to understand each character and their important role, And the villain of Scar is evil with the way they're able to play him off. And the effects they add that are unrealistic to a real live action version of this add to the cartoony feel to this, yet it still feels like it's a really well put together movie. Of course, those are just my picks on these movies, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. Be sure to respect others' opinions because we all view the different movies different ways. But also be sure to check out some of my other videos I got here on my channel, and be sure to click that circle right in the middle. Check out my channel and subscribe, and I'll be back for more movie reviews, rankings, and more.